Cloud. Okay.
Yeah, it says got it. Yeah. So it's on.
Okay, so, all right. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to make sure we are on Facebook. Go live. All right. We are almost live. This is exciting.
Yeah, it says.
It's always exciting when it's the first time. All right. Andra, we are live.
Great.
Awesome. All right. Okay, and we're also recording here. All right. So I want to welcome everyone. I am Kristen Owens, and this is Andra Wochesan, right? Wochesan?
Great.
Awesome.
Good.
And I wanted to bring Andra on because I believe that how you show up, I talk a lot about health, and health is not just about what you put in your body. It's not just about how you move your body. There's a lot of pieces to health. And this is why I believe holistic health is really such a powerful way to live, because we're not just focusing on one thing or two things. And how we show up in the world will directly impact your health. But how you do one thing is how you do everything. So Andra, you and I are going to have a conversation. I had mentioned to you that I wanted to have a conversation with you really about, this is your area of expertise. And I want women watching to really, really understand, because I've explained it before, but I want them to understand from you how they show up and the energy, because everything is energy. We emit an energy, whether it's a positive vibration or a low vibration. And then of course, it's a scientific law that what we put out, we will get back to us, right? So the thoughts we think, the words we speak, all directly impact what shows up in our life and how healthy we will be. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would just love, before we start, I don't want to not introduce you. So I just want you to share a little bit about who you are before we get into it, so people know who's speaking to them.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks so much. I'm so happy to be here, and I love connecting with like-minded individuals, people on a similar path, and I love being exposed to new communities and new amazing people. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I call myself an energy coach for change makers and leaders, and I really help them expand their presence, expand their income, expand their visibility, so that they actually can get their work out into the world in a big way. And the modalities really that I use really are a lot around energy, right? So it's this idea of law of attraction. That's my primary certification. I use something called quantum flow. I use tapping, EFT, as a way to clear some of the limiting blocks and getting into expansion. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I also do Akashic record reading. So this is all energetic in nature. And it really is my passion and my mission in life is to help people connect to the core of who they are and how they want to express that in the world. And so that just really translates beautifully into whatever area of life that you want it to translate in. And so really, I would invite you today, Kristen's area of expertise is health and wellness. So we'll gear it more towards that. But really, I invite you to take all of this and apply it to whatever area of life that you're really wanting to grow and expand within yourself, because I truly believe we are all here to grow and expand, right? That's our journey. That's what we're here for. And so that can be in our vitality, in our energy, in our health, in our physical body, in our money, in our impact, all of these things. I don't believe that they're separate. They're all connected. So happy to dive into this today.
Absolutely. Awesome. So now just tell me then, can you explain a little bit about vibration and energy? How is it that we are energy? How does it influence what we do, what we like? How does it influence our life and our health? So maybe you can just explain what energy is all about.
Yeah, sure. So I love that you said thoughts and feelings. And if you notice where your feelings are, they're housed in your body. Thoughts are in our brain, right? And so they are all very connected. But what I really want to invite today for the energetic they all impact our energy, but really it is what we are vibrating at in our physical selves and our cells that is actually going to call in what we want to have call in. So we can't just be thinking something, and if we're not vibrating with it, so if we're thinking I am healthy and vibrant and I weigh this much, and I feel amazing and all this, but internally if you're feeling like not that or anything but that, you're actually going to be in misalignment. So we actually, when we talk about vibration, our vibration is housed in our physical vehicle, right? And so this is right, our body, I'm such a fan of the body, right? It is the magic. And so when you can get your energy aligned, so yes, your thoughts are going to help you do that. So if you're thinking I'm healthy and vibrant, then allow that to translate into what you're feeling, and then allow that to translate into the energy that you're magnetizing out into the world, right? Because it really is this. I'm going to use this kind of area. This is where we feel. And so again, the thoughts, use those selective thoughts that empower you, that pull you forward, or beliefs, all of these things, use them, but really tune into the energetic frequency that you're holding in your body. So if you are wanting to call in health and vitality, vibrancy, what does that feel like in your body, right? And so you actually have to cultivate the feeling of that within yourself. So when you think those things, if you feel contracted in your solar plexus, if you're kind of like shrinking, you're vibrationally not sending that out, right? Even if you're thinking, well, someone told me I should say this, or I should think this, or I kind of want this, but if it's not translating into your frequency, what you're actually putting out, then you're going to get what this is. So really it's the embodiment of energy, because we are energetic beings.
Yes. That's I think that's so key, is the whole feeling, right? Like I think that a lot of people are feeling not the way they want to feel, right? Because they're focusing. I'm doing a glow transformation. It's a 10-day transformation that I do every other month with women. And today, actually, interesting enough, today was actually all about affirmations and speaking out, because I talk a lot about how your words are powerful, and the words we speak actually create things. And so I was explaining this whole thing about, if you're focusing on something that you don't want, that's going to make you feel a certain way. Like anything that we're thinking is going to make us feel a certain way. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And then when we're feeling, I'm not getting the results I want because weight loss is a big thing, right? So I'm not getting the results I want in my weight, but women keep focusing on the weight that they don't want to be, and they're not achieving. So then it's this vicious circle that happens in the cycle, that they keep focusing on what they don't want and then feeling that, and then it just keeps creating. And then because of that focus and feeling, then their decisions and their actions are in line with the thing that they don't want. Mm-hmm. So how can you, again, I want to keep it super basic. Yeah, like, what is it that women can do? Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is what I see all the time, right? Because there are health coaches that specifically, they don't teach on food. They're teaching on this topic because they understand that this is a missing link in what women, and it doesn't have to just be about weight loss. It can be about hormones. It could be about anything. It just happens to be weight loss is one of those things that never seems to go away, right? So I want women to really understand, like, what would be steps or tools that you've used with clients in your community of what they can actually do to shift their thought, their words, their, so that their actions and their decisions are in line. Like, they start choosing better, healthier foods, right? Like, what are some things that they can do to start right now? Because I believe that we need to start now. The time is now, and it's not okay later. Let's talk about what they can do now that they can implement today and practice over and over and over, so that they start to see changes in their life.
Sure. I'll give you a couple. Super simple, super fast, right? I like to do things fast. Energy moves fast. Actually, energy wants to move. It actually doesn't want to be analyzed and right, we actually can shift through things really quickly. So the first thing I would invite anybody who's watching or on the recording or live is when you think about if we want to keep it with weight loss, I mean, yeah, like in my world, it would be like with income goals, right? Or money, right?
Yeah.
So in this, so let's just keep it with some part of your health that you're not satisfied with, so, or you're wanting. So it could be either way. So we can either focus on what we don't want and then feel the crap, or we can focus on what we do want and not believe we can do it and then feel the crap. So ultimately we are vibrating from feeling the crap, right? And so that's really wherever you are right now. So first of all, just notice your topic. So whether it's weight loss, hormonal imbalance, whatever it is for you right now, notice how it feels in your body without judgment, but notice if there's any constriction, just take a moment to have a conversation, like chat with your body. Your body is not separate from you. You are your body, you are your cells. So just notice where you feel. I'm getting a lot of energetics right now around solar plexus, top, almost top part. So just notice for yourself if you have any constriction there, any tightness, any tension, and maybe somewhere else. So notice that within yourself without judgment. So just let it be there for a minute, but notice it, where it is, how intense it is. Then you can, I'm going to invite you just to breathe into it to create space. So maybe take 5 slow, deep breaths. So just match your inhale and your exhale. And imagine that air going into that area. So maybe solar plexus may not be right in your lungs, right? But just imagine that air going in there. So just noticing that you can actually start to transmute this energy or shift this energy by allowing it to be there and giving it space. And then you might even have a conversation with it. Why are you tight? Or why are you tense? What are you trying to tell me? And listen to it. Your body is wise. It might say something like too much pressure, or I can't do it, right? It's going to be some kind of simple, or it might be like, be nicer to me. It could be anything like that. It's not going to be a long-winded something. It may just be a thought or a sense. So just notice it, capture it. So that's just like the first, and again, this may seem really simplistic, but I guarantee you, if you will go into you're trying to work with your body here, don't ignore it. Don't try to fix it all in your head. Come into your body, feel it, let it be there, have a conversation, breathe into it. That's the simplest way to start to get this energy moving. Then you can use the information that it gives you, right? And so then I'm going to give you another tool to follow that up with. And this is from Abraham Hicks, if those of you know, that's my certification, if you know them. And so really, whatever the thought is, whatever it is, so let's just say, I'm just going to make something up. You're never going to do it. Just going to say that for the sake of choosing something. So that's what you don't want. That's what you're not wanting to call in. That does not feel good in your body. Your body is telling you does not feel good. So I'm going to give you 3 questions. I will invite you to close your eyes to do this. So just maybe even put your hand on that part of your body. Ask yourself the question, well, what do I want? And answer it, right? It might be, well, I want to feel really good in my body. Second question, why do I want it? I feel like my body is so important to me. I want to be active. I love playing with my kids. I love being outside. I just want to feel like I move easily. Notice how that feels. And then how do I want to feel? I want to feel ease. I want to feel lightness. I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel healthy, whatever it is. And just notice for a moment that tension in your body and see if it has shifted a little bit within you. Again, I'm going through this relatively quickly. You can definitely spend more time. So that's step number 2, tool number 2. And then I'm going to give you one more tool, again, also Abraham Hicks, because it's great stuff. Right? So it's now you kind of know what you want, right? And so I'm going to invite this. I'm going to play with this. You cool if I do a little timer for 68 seconds? So this is it's called 68 seconds. It really allows you to, I always go to my calculator instead of my timer. Sorry. Yeah, I'm like, why always? So it's 68 seconds after every 17 seconds, we attract him. This is all quantum physics. You can look into it more. I'm going to give you the Coles notes. Every 17 seconds, you attract a matching thought or feeling to whatever it is that you're thinking. And then after 68 seconds, you've actually changed your point of attraction. And so that can either be up or it can be down. There's actually 22 sort of emotional things on the scale, right? And so let's say, and I'm not going to get into too much of that. There's a lot there, but so let's just say you're kind of feeling a little, I don't know, kind of pessimistic. You're never going to lose weight. It doesn't feel good. I don't think it's going to happen. So that's probably like, if one is at the top, you're probably at maybe 13 on the scale, right? And so if you keep thinking, I'm never going to, this is never going to work. I don't feel like this is going to happen. It hasn't happened so far. Again, your mind's going to come up with all this proof. After 68 seconds, you're actually going to be down to 14, which I can't remember the actual order, but it's going to be a worse feeling emotion, which is not going to be a good thing. And then that's going to attract matching thoughts, right? On the flip side, obviously, if you flip it to something that feels better for 17 seconds, and then if you do that 4 times to 68 seconds, you're now going to be at 12. And then if you do that again, you're going to be at 11, then you're going to be at 10. So literally after 5 minutes, you could actually be in an optimistic place, right? And so I'm just going to play with this. Do you want to do it, Kristen? Do you want me to take you through it? Or do you want me to just model it? Yeah.
Maybe model it.
Okay, sure.
Model
Okay,
it,
yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just throwing you on. I throw all my clients on the spot. I'm like, okay, and go. Yeah, so this isn't going to be perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. But I want you to sense, if you're watching, for my energy, and just see if you can start to sense. We are all very intuitive and energetic in nature, so you have the capacity. Feel my energy. So, okay, so. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm neutral with weight, because I probably am neutral with weight. So yeah, I'm pretty okay with my weight, right? And it feels okay. I wouldn't mind a little bit trimmer, blah, 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 right? That's where I'm at. So for 68 seconds, I'm now going to shift that to a higher place. So I'm going to put my own timer on here. So actually I am quite happy with my weight. I feel like I'm doing really great. I'm 50 years old, and I feel like I'm just as active and vital as I've been in my younger years. I love really putting good things in my body. I find the more that I choose foods that feel really good for me, the easier it is for those other foods to not be there. I really find that. I still allow myself, I love red wine, I love tea, and I'm not cutting those out. I choose to live those. I even choose to allow chips into my experience because they make me happy. And because they make me happy and I'm not judging myself, I feel good about it, because most of the time I'm eating kale smoothies and big salads with nuts and with different pieces in them. And I feel really good about that. I really like how my clothes fit me. I feel like I enjoy so this is not that easy. Enjoy being in my body. I like that I can move. I'm actually really happy that I've just joined. I do all of these different kinds of exercises. I do some Orange Theory, which is really hard. And then I do yoga, and I do this practice called quantum flow. And I love really being kind to my body, and it makes me feel really good. And then it inspires me to continually want to eat things that feel good and do things that feel good. Okay, so that was about a minute and 15 seconds. And so, yeah, not bad, right? It's not my topic maybe or something, right? But it's just sensing the difference in the energy around it. I can feel that my vibration has increased. Even if it's not my topic, if it's not what I came in here with today, my field has expanded, right? I've started talking about things that make me feel good. So even though I'm talking about this in this moment, this is going to translate now to my client calls this afternoon. This is going to translate to my marketing. This is going to, right? And so it's going to translate to, oh yeah, maybe I will have a salad for lunch, right? Because I've now put that in. Thank you.
So basically, really what I saw there was, it's us talking about really where we want to be. So even if you're not somewhere, say financially or relationship wise or health, whatever it is, you're just talking, like, because you're visualizing and you're talking about where it is that you want to be. That's essentially what you did, right? So because so would you say that it's challenging for people where if weight is an issue for them, or they find that they can't stick to health goals Because one of the things that I teach a lot on is getting back to the basics, because I find that most women that come into my community, they're not consistent with the basics, just the basics. We're not even talking about going in depth into hormone balance or whatever it is. It's just the basics, right? And so I believe that if we don't, if we can't, if we're not solid in the foundations and the basics, it's hard to build on that, right? Because we build on a foundation. So basically, anyone that's listening that is maybe in my community and you have a hard time sticking with, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're saying with that exercise is they're taking that thing that they have a hard time changing, and they start speaking out as if it was already the way they wanted. Is that correct?
It
That's what I
is,
saw.
it is, but I want to point out what I did before that, because that's super key, because
Okay.
that process is fantastic. And if you're in a place that's way low on that scale, you're going to be like, I can't even do this. I don't even have access to it. And so my invitation is that's where we did like, what is your body saying? Let it actually speak. It's like, it's feeling like this is impossible. I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. It's giving it voice, and then you're breathing into it and you're just saying, it's okay. You're right. You might even have a conversation. I mean, I'm doing like snippets, right? But you might even be like, you know what? It's okay. We got this. We can go at our own pace here, right? I'm always like touching my body, but so just allowing it to be okay. And then we did the pivoting exercise, which let you say, well, I don't like this feeling. Well, what do I want? How do I want to feel? Right. I gave you those 3 questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? And so again, that just allows you to bridge the gap. And so some of your audience may be able to just do that, but I will guarantee you, if you're having a day, that's going to be too far. You're going to be like, I can't even do that. Or I don't know how, it won't feel the same, or I'll start going in a downward spiral. Right. So I think, and I mean, just one other tool I will throw just really quick, if it's really intense for you, is tapping, right? So there's a whole bunch of tapping points, and I could, if people want them, I can, you can message me, I can give you the points, but I often will just give people under the left collarbone. And then this is like emotional freedom technique. It's like used for what do you call it? PTSD even, right? It's actually neutralizes things, right? Yes, trauma, everything, right? So you could be like, I'm never going to lose weight. I can't lose weight. I hate it. I want to give up. Like all the crap that's going on in your head. This doesn't work. It's never going to work, right? It just lets you actually voice these things instead of, I am going to lose weight if I don't feel it, right? So you actually get to feel that. So those are just some ways I just wanted to include that, because we actually want to give voice to it's why I became certified in so many modalities. I love law of attraction, but if there's stuff underneath, we have to let that have presence as well. We don't dwell in it, but it's okay that it's there, and it gets to have some airtime, like not long airtime, but some airtime. And then it's like, okay, now I've said how hard this is, and I feel like I'm trying so hard and it's not working. Then I actually have some space to say, well, maybe I could do this, or maybe, right? It opens this little crack of possibility, and then we can go into the crack. And I will say, oh, sorry, can I say one last thing? There's one last thing I wanted to say, no, but also always reaching for the best feeling piece. So if you can't get to like, this is where I want to be, well, I think maybe I could feel a little bit better in my body. I think I could feel a little bit better in my body. Maybe I'll just do this little thing, right? And so it's just like, it doesn't have to be extreme, right? And if we just start here, like we said, it's 68 seconds. We think things for like 25 minutes and we stew, right? And so you could be here and right? And so it just, so I just wanted to offer that piece. And start where you are, right?
And it's about making an effort. Exactly. But you know what though, starting where you are, that's true for everything and anything, right? Because I think sometimes we think that we need to be light years ahead, but we just need to start where we are. Or I've heard women say, well, I'm too old to do this. And I'm like, no, like you're never too old to start anything or do anything. It's, you have to have the desire to do it, and you have to make the decision that you're going to do it. And then, nothing worthwhile comes easy. And so like what you're teaching us, Andra, is it does take effort, right? Like, do I even want to use the word effort? You have to do it, right? Just like meditation or just breathing, like I teach a lot about breathing and tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, right? Because we're so focused or so in that sympathetic so much and tapping into the parasympathetic. But a lot of people we get so caught up in our day that we don't stop to actually take 2 minutes to really focus on breathing. And same with what you're teaching here is we have to actually stop to do that. So if we can take 21 days or 30 days or just start with 2 weeks and do it every single day, put a timer on and do what you're teaching and put that timer on, what, even if it like 5 minutes, or even maybe it's not 5 minutes and you have to start smaller, but actually just make it a habit, because then it will start to stick. You'll feel better. Because I know even just tapping, like just even, doing this kind of stuff, it actually wakes up your cells, and our cells are vibrating. We want them to be vibrating. We want them to be like bouncing around, and healthy cells are moving around as opposed to being stuck together. So what I see in terms of what you're teaching is it's actually allowing cells to become more vibrant and energized, right? So because anything about cellular health, oh, I just love it so much. And it's so in depth and so deep, but yet it can be very simple too, right? It's not about everything's complicated. It's about coming back to simplicity. So I just see what you're teaching as, I see it in terms of, what's happening at the cellular level. And if you feel happy and joyful and upbeat, your cells are going to respond to that in a happy way. And dis-ease can't thrive in cells that are happy and vibrant, right? When they're all stagnant and lethargic and like that kind of, our cells are like, it just goes downhill fast, right? So I think that if we can just keep ourselves upbeat in the best that we can, and this is where I believe, Andra, is really important, is people like us, in terms of what we do as a profession, is having that support and accountability is so key. Because when we try to do these things on our own, it doesn't always work, right? And so I think that that's why it's really good that you do what you do and then I do what I do, because women can have these outlets and these places to come to be able to get that support. So it's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't, I know 30 minutes goes by super fast. I don't even know what time we got on because it was a little bit later than what we planned on, trying to get through Zoom onto Facebook. So it's 10:02 and I have another teaching that I have to do at 12, but I want to thank you for being on. It was, those listening, it was fast and furious. However, it was very beneficial. And I believe that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I believe that whoever's listening to this by recording, and then I'm going to be putting this on my YouTube channel, it will be here for life. So thank you for being here. And actually on Facebook, if you want to even put your details in the comments, that would be great. So people can probably find you by your name, because I did. And actually I met you through, I think it was Happy Healthy Women. I don't know if, yeah, it was through Happy Healthy Women. And then you had done a Zoom like this with Natalie, and I saw the Zoom and I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this stuff. And I like her. So I ended up in your Facebook group. So that's how I met you. But I thank you for coming on, and I'd love to do this again soon, sometime. And because I know there's more to talk about. Like this is like not even the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah,
not
totally.
even we're just like on the little tiny smidgen of the little piece of ice. So thanks for joining us. And those listening, thanks for joining. And we will be back again next week for our next Tuesday chat. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.